Hello and welcome to Tax Letter Preparation. Today we'll cover a few maintenance tasks for relationship and deductibility accuracy before moving on to tax letter generation. The documentation for what I am about to review with you can be found at training.jvillenetwork.com/content/tax-letter-accuracy-tips. So the first thing we're going to look at is relationship accuracy. What we mean by this is how to produce a single tax letter for the head of household. So long as your permissioned relationships are in place, this will be possible. So again, the detailed information is located on our online documentation for you to review after the video. Moving on to deductibility accuracy, here what happens is sometimes you create a financial type that is set to be non-deductible. Afterwards, you realize that it should have been deductible. However, in the interim, you recorded several contributions. In addition to updating the financial type, you will also need to update those contributions so that they will show up as deductible contributions. I'm going to walk through both of those maintenance tasks with you now, starting with relationship accuracy. The first thing we're going to do is access the back office of your JManage database and update permissioned relationships. We do this by going to Search, Find Contacts, selecting the contact type as Household, and clicking Search. Now, we're going to come up with a list of household here. You can do this any number of times. There's no duplication of data. The system is simply verifying that whatever relationships are in place have the associated permissioned relationships. So we're going to go ahead and select all of the found records and scroll to the bottom of the Actions drop-down menu to select Update Permissions on Relationships. This will bring us to a pre-update screen that explains exactly how the relationships are going to be updated. Again, there's no duplication of data. You can run this as many times as you want. The system is simply verifying the current status of permissioned relationships and updating any where missing. I'm going to go ahead and click on Update Relationships now. And depending on how many contacts need their relationships updated, this process may take very little time or it could take a little longer. It really just depends on the amount of data you have to update. So that's it for relationship accuracy. So now we're going to take a look at deductibility accuracy. And again, the goal here is to update any contributions that may have been recorded with a financial type that was originally set to non-deductible and then later changed to deductible. From the back office, we go under Finances, Find Contributions. What we're looking for here are contributions from the previous tax year. For those of us in the US and Canada, this is the previous calendar year. For our Australian clients, this would be from July 1 to June 30. So depending on where you are in the world, you would select the relevant date range. I'm going to go ahead and select previous calendar year. And then I'm going to click Search. After a few seconds, my contributions show up. I'm going to select all records. And from the Action drop-down menu, I'm going to select Modify Tax Data. This will bring us to a pre-update screen, which again will explain to us what we're trying to do, which is update contributions with financial types that were initially set to non-deductible and that were later changed to deductible. I'm going to go ahead and click on Modify Tax Data now. And again, this process depends on the number of records being updated. We updated 4 contributions in this case, so it took very little time. It might take longer if you have more contributions to update in your system. And that's essentially it for verifying tax deductibility accuracy. And we can now move on to tax letter generation. We do this by going under Search, Custom Searches, and clicking on Tax Year Contributors. What this search is going to do, it's going to bring up contributors that gave within the tax year for which we're printing letters. For the purposes of this example, we're going to select calendar year 2015. Now, again, our Australian clients who are not on a calendar tax year would select the date range applicable. We have the option to select the tax status, whether any status or just deductibles, which is typically not used. I'm just going to leave that filter blank. We can summarize by household, which is best for print letters. If you were sending an email, you would want to select summarize by contact. And also for print letters, you have the option of sorting by name or by postal or zip code. I'm going to click search. And I am presented with a list of the tax year contributors, anyone who made a contribution within the tax year for which I am printing letters. I'm going to go ahead and select all records, and from the Actions drop-down menu, I'm going to select Print Merge Document. After a few seconds, my Print Merge Document screen appears, and I'm going to select the tax letter template that I have. All environments ship with a sample tax letter that you should edit. For the purposes of this webinar, we're going to assume that this tax letter is perfect as is. We're going to click Preview, which actually generates the letters. Depending on your browser, it will prompt you to save the letters. And again, the length of time that the system takes to generate the letters really depends on the number of letters you're processing. This was super quick because we only had 19 letters to generate, but if you number in the hundreds, it could take several good minutes before you're presented with a PDF file. Now, I'm going to close out of this, and I just want to spend a little bit of time talking about the tax tokens you have available to you. If you click on the token drop-down box and start typing taxes, you'll come up with a short list of tax tokens. There are 3 for the current calendar year and 3 for the previous calendar year. Now, you have a token that will show you everything deductible and non-deductible. You then have a token that will show you only deductible records for those who prefer that. Again, it's not commonly used, but this is also an option that you have available to you. And then the third option is a token that will show you only the total column, regardless of whether or not the item is deductible or non-deductible. That won't be listed in the information that gets printed on the tax letter. So I've got a little sample template that has just those 3 tokens in there so that we can take a look at what the different tokens look like. I'm going to click Preview. After a few seconds, my browser is going to prompt me to save the document somewhere. And after a few more seconds, the PDF will be generated. I can click to view it. And here we see the results of our 3 tokens. The first one that shows all 3 columns, deductible, non-deductible, and the total amount columns. The second token that shows only deductible records. And the third token that will show you only the total amount column. And that's it. You're all done. As easy as that. So today we reviewed relationship accuracy, deductibility accuracy, and tax letter generation. Thanks for watching.